Hey, family, let me talk to you for a few minutes about something that might just save your life or the life of someone you love. This ain't a sermon, and I'm not here to preach to you. I just want to have a real conversation, especially with my brothers out there. Men, fellas, listen, we don't like going to the doctor. I know, I get it. We'll take our car in for a tune up and an oil change every 3,000 miles, but we won't get our own bodies checked out. We'll Google symptoms, take us some vitamins, drink a green smoothie, and hope for the best. Well, that's not a plan. That's a gamble. But here's the truth: when you catch something early, you have more options. You have time. You have a chance to fight it on your own terms. But if you wait, if you put it off, if you ignore it, what could have been a small fix turns into a life changing situation, or worse, a life ending one. So my story is, in 2022, I went in for my routine annual checkup. Everything felt fine. Nothing seemed off. My blood test showed my PSA numbers were a little high. That's your prostate specific antigen. Fellas, look that up. The doctor decided to do a biopsy, and it came back that it was, in fact, cancer. But the good news was that we caught it very early. So the doctor said, let's keep an eye on this. No panic, no drama. They let me monitor it to see if I could bring my numbers down naturally. And guess what? I did for a while. But fast forward to 2025, after a couple biopsies and MRIs later, those numbers started creeping back up. I had a choice: wait it out and risk it getting worse and spreading, or be proactive and take action, which basically meant either radiation or surgery. Well, I chose action. I had the surgery. It's called a radical prostatectomy. Now, that sounds crazy. I had that to remove the entire prostate. Now, I could have gone with radiation, but here's what most people don't know about that. Radiation hardens that area. And if the cancer ever was to come back, surgery would have been off the table at that point. No surgeon wants to operate on an area that's been blasted and hardened by radiation. So I chose the route that gave me options in the future. I prayed, I studied, I fought, I ate better, and I just had my 3 month follow up. And you ready for this? PSA score 0.01. That's a number I'll never take for granted again. And I share this with you not to scare you, but to wake you up, because I've lost friends and family who had health insurance, access to care, knowledge of a problem, and still didn't go. And they died from something that could have been treated or even cured. And let me say that again. They died from something treatable or curable, all because they didn't go get a checkup. That's not how we're supposed to go out. Women, y'all already know. You go to the doctor, you ask questions, you get those mammograms, you stay on top of your business. But men, we wait until we're doubled over in pain or being dragged by our spouse before we make that appointment. Fellas, that's gotta stop, especially if you got insurance. Use it. If you don't have insurance, look into free clinics or community health programs. There are options out there, but do not ignore your body. Go get your blood work, your PSA tests, your colonoscopies, mammograms, check your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your glucose, all of that stuff. Know your family history. If cancer runs in your family, tell your doctor. If your mama had diabetes, or as we like to say, had that sugar, tell your doctor. If your uncle dropped dead at 45 from a heart attack, tell your doctor. That information could save your life. Now, if something does come up, and I pray that it doesn't, but if it does, don't panic. It's not a death sentence. This is not 1975. This isn't even 1999. The medical world has changed drastically. There are advancements happening right now that are truly incredible. And let me put you on to something. There's a book called Life Force, Life, Life, Life Force, by Tony Robbins, along with Dr. Peter Diamandis and Dr. Robert Hariri. This is one of the top 5 books I've ever read. It's an extremely long book, but let me tell you, this book has changed my life in regards to how I look at my longevity. I wish I read it before my surgery. I might have been able to keep my prostate and still be cancer. It talks about cutting edge treatments, new technologies, stem cell therapy, and not the kind you're probably thinking about. Real precision medicine, all kinds of things that are already here or about to hit the market. At the time of me recording this, some of those treatments were still waiting on FDA approval, but depending on when you're hearing this, they might already be available. And listen, I want you to live a long, healthy, purpose-filled life. I want you to be there for your kids, for your grandkids, and I want you to see the fruits of all your hard work. I want you to thrive, not just survive. So don't wait for a wake-up call. Let my story be a reminder that early detection saves lives. Go get your checkup. You'll thank yourself later. And maybe, just maybe, you'll get to tell your own story someday. Thank you. Stay healthy, stay strong.